Hi everyone, we're here and we have the last of the Johto starters. And then after this one, we're going to be recording Blastoise, who is the last of the Kanto starters. Obviously, they have been done for a long time. If you're new here, hello, welcome. If you watch these videos and aren't subbed, subscribe. I don't want to be that fucking. I wouldn't even consider myself a YouTuber, but I don't want to be that person who's like, oh, sub to the channel. But like, I want to get monetized, so that would help. Um, so if you like the stuff, if you like the videos, that would help. Yeah, and also if you are interested in this kind of thing, check out the description. You got the link to the sheets. You can check all the stuff out for yourself, and there's a lot of stuff in here, and it's really awesome. So that being said, we have Feraligatr, and first things for okay, so there's a big thing I want to address first with these guys, and that is the typing. A lot of hacks make them water dark type. I don't have that many issues with water dark type for Alligator. I mean, I've done weirder type changes for sure. Oh god, that thing is bugging out. Hold on, just gotta change tabs and hopefully it comes back. If it ever happens for you guys and a picture just isn't appearing, all you have to do is just change tabs and it should show up. There you go. So, it's really not weird. Sorry, it's not weird to have water dark necessarily. It's just kind of meh. And there are actually a lot of other water dark types that would overlap a decent amount with Frogvator. Although I ended up I actually had you might have even seen in the last video I literally had them as water dark as early as like an hour ago. I've been like on the fence about it for a while. I understand like okay, Meganium would have been pure grass had, and this is not a Meganium video, so I'm not going to dwell on this too much, but the only real reason that I ended up choosing to do fairy type, besides the fact that it does fit pretty well, and other hacks have done it before, is because it would be horribly outclassed by Tangrowth. I said this in the Meganium video, but I'm gonna say it now because people might look back and be like, "Oh, well, how come the other two are pure type and Meganium gets a dual typing?" No, Meganium was garbage. It is not that dual type pure types are bad. Far from it. Pure types are very good in a lot of cases. But in Meganium's case, it would be horribly outclassed by Tangrowth if I made it a pure type. And you might be thinking, okay, well then just don't give Regenerator. And it's like, yeah, sure. Then what? Grassy Surge? I mean, then it's out. Then it's like competing with Leafeon and Simbisage and stuff. It's just kind of meh as pure grass. So it really does need the grass fairy typing, in my opinion, to stand out amongst the other grass types and amongst the other pure grass types specifically. So that's why Meganium is grass fairy. Is it kind of weird that the other two are pure type and Meganium isn't? Yeah. Does it matter that much? No. No, it does not. There are 721 Pokemon. It's not. It is what it is. This is the best case scenario. I prefer pure water on Feraligatr just from. I mean, I know he's angry and he's like feral and he's violent and savage. It says like it fits. Like if you like water dark Feraligatr, I'm not gonna like hold it against you. It's mostly just because there's a lot of other water dark types that would feel kind of similar. And there are more pure water types still, despite a lot of the type changes. There's still a lot of pure water types. I believe I have, if you count Feraligatr now, let me actually count. If you count for I have a list of like all the types like listed out and all the mons with their abilities and stuff. Gator would make 12 pure water types, and as for water darks, there is 5 if you discount Feraligatr. So yeah, and Feraligatr is actually, I don't know, it just seems kind of like I just am not a huge fan of the type on it. I don't know why. I just kind of don't see it that much. Although I see it, like it's not a bad change. I literally had it on there, so hopefully that explains why. I also think that if you're water, so here's what it loses. It loses dual stab. That's a big thing that it loses. What it gains, or I guess rather gain, what it would gain if it was water dark is a lot more weaknesses. So let me just find, I don't know, Greninja. First water dark. So if we have Greninja here, Greninja has Bug, Electric, Grass, Fighting, and Fairy. So that's 5 weaknesses as opposed to only 2 with Electric and Grass with Pure Water. So that's really good. And then you don't really gain that many resistances. The main thing you gain is actually the immunity to Psychic, which is pretty fucking huge. But I am just not a huge fan of Water Dark on Gator. I don't think the color scheme fits very well either. That's my main thing. If it was like darker colored, I could see it. But not that like a dark type has to be dark colored. It's just, I don't know. He's just an alligator, man. Just let him vibe. So that's my take on it. I thought about it for a while, so yeah. That being said, they have excellent abilities. That's another thing. I could have kept Strong Jaw on Gator now, because the reason I didn't have Strong Jaw on Gator was because Sharpedo exists, and Sharpedo was Water Dark type with Strong Jaw. But I still prefer Sheer Force and Intimidate on it. I think Sheer Force is much better, especially because there's no Water Bite move. So yeah. Gator's amazing. So with that typing issue out of the way, I want to actually talk about them now. So the line as a whole is much faster and stronger overall. And they have lost special defense and special attack across the board. Just logically, it just makes sense looking at them. This is this is like not, let me, can I even make that even? Sorry, I should not be doing this live. It's just kind of bugging me. I think I probably can. Let me just it's a little bit bigger. Sorry, I should not be doing this live, but it's just kind of bugging me. Okay, Gator's good. Let's make this one a little longer and to make it, there we go. So that's done. So let me even this out. So yeah, the line is much faster. So something that's interesting about Feraligatr, I'm sure some of you guys probably noticed already, is that it is supposed to be really fast. The dex, like it says in like half of his entries that he moves at like blinding speed, and he's like extremely quick on land, and he's actually it's hard for him to support his weight, so he goes on all fours, which I wish they showed. I'm not like totally against Monk being bipedal. I mean, I love a lot of bipedal mons. I just kind of wish Gator was on all fours. But anyway, it's kind of sucks that we don't have an all. I hope like Coco stays on all fours, but I highly doubt it. They have not done a quadrupedal starter since like Gen 4? Jesus, yeah, since Gen 4 if you don't count Superior. That's wild. Am I missing any? Nah, it's Gen 4, yeah. And granted, I don't hate all the starters. I don't like Gen 8 or 9 starters. Well, Gen 8 I hate. Gen 7 I dislike. Besides this UI, and then Gen 9 I haven't known. We haven't seen the final editions yet. But I am not going to keep my hopes up because they have been going in a different route recently. I'm not a huge fan of it. But this is not a design review. This is a Feraligatr video. I'm so sorry. So these guys are very straightforward. They are just stronger because they are giant, monstrous alligators, and it literally says here like just how fucking powerful they are. And again, 550 base total on auto starters, and also on most three-stage Pokemon, so it just fits to have more attack, and a significant speed boost as well. That is really all. I mean, it's just a very straightforward buff. Move pool. It's not boring. Like I love Feraligatr. It's probably it's my second or third favorite starter. Torterra, Superior, and then Feraligatr. They kind of switch around, but Torterra is usually my favorite, and Feraligatr is probably usually my second favorite. But sometimes they switch around. But this is irrelevant. My point is that another quick little anecdote is that I considered Water Dragon. Like I didn't completely discount it. I really did consider it, but I just not the biggest fan of it personally. It could work, but I don't know. It kind of overlaps too much with the other ones too, and it's just bleh. I like this way best. Oh, excuse me. Yeah. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. I don't know, like they're strong, they're fast. Again, the dex here, it says they are extremely quick, incredible speed, blinding speed. It usually moves slowly. So this is why I was kind of torn on the speed stat, because 78 speed fits looking at his design, but then when you hear the dexes and you hear that he moves fast, it's like, okay, he could be faster. But then this is implying blinding. I mean, obviously a lot of you guys are probably rolling your eyes at me analyzing these dex entries. I know they're bullshit. I know they don't make any sense. I know they contradict each other. I know that fucking Vikavolt was said that it was zip super fast, but I mean, I'm fixing that. So I am using the lore and my own impressions of the Pokemon and the animal it's based on to warrant the stats or change the stats. And in this case, I ended up settling on a 98 base speed. I think that's pretty fair. It's high, but it's not like extremely high, because I feel like over 100, like, yeah, it says blinding speed, but it just feels kind of weird to me. So 98 is a very good tier forward. That's excellent with agility. That's excellent with Dragon Dance, and that is excellent with Choice Scarf. And it is very powerful, and it's pretty bulky. Pure Water type, 85 base HP, 100 base defense with Intimidate. I mean, it's bulky. You don't need to run speedy sets. That's the nice thing about this hack, is you have infinite access to ability capsules, infinite access to EV training items, meaning like you can literally just click 2 buttons. The vitamins, 2 proteins maxes your attack, 2 Carbos maxes your speed, 2 speed berries will minimize your speed stat, so you can really just EV train willy-nilly, really freely. And the items are all dirt cheap, 5 fucking Pokédollars, whatever the fuck it is, they're super cheap. It's all quality of life stuff, so you have infinite EV training and stuff, so you can really make use of like, oh, I want to run bulky this fight, I want to run offensive this fight, I want to run a tankier set, I want to run a fast scarf set, whatever it is, you can really do whatever. They do have access to a lot of really good utility. They have access to Aqua Ring for reliable recovery, which heals 50% of your HP now. You have Intimidate with Parting Shot, that's really good. you also have like, you know, regular stuff like taunt and substitute and all that regular crap. Leer and Scary Face. Scary Face is -1 attack, -2 speed. Leer is -2 defense, and then Battle Cry is -2 offenses. So those are all really good utility moves. So that's all nice to have. The base stats of the pre-evolutions make a lot more sense. I mean, you know, they look kind of quick, and they're supposed to be moving relatively quickly. So I just gave them some more speed and lower their special stats a bunch, and then give them more attack. That's really not too, like, I don't think the stats are going to be controversial for anybody, or like raise any eyebrows. So as for another thing that people might find weird, actually, is that Strongjaw turns into Sheer Force. I kind of like that, honestly. Personally, I like the idea of it because Sheer Force obviously has way more moves that are boosted, and Strongjaw is especially kind of because they don't have any stab of Strongjaw. Not that that makes it a bad or anything. It's just kind of, you know, Sheer Force is just better because they have stab with Sheer Force, and of course you have Life Orb Sheer Force and stuff. But I still feel like Strongjaw really fits, so I ended up giving it to the pre-evolutions as like kind of a consolation. And so what the pre-evolutions have with Strongjaw is Crunch and Jagged Fangs and Psychic Fangs, which are all 85 base power. And so those basically become Stab with Strongjaw, which is really strong. Pun not intended. And then you have Ice Fang and Poison Fang, which are 75 base power. And so they're slightly weaker, but they're still very powerful with Strongjaw. Good moves, good coverage, solid mon. Those are all TMs besides Crunch and Jagged Fangs. So you can swap between Psychic Fangs, Ice Fang, and Poison Fang when it willy-nilly, depending on situation. That's really nice to have. And then you have Torrent, which all of the starters have as the babies. And that's just nice to have. You have Endure TM, so you can use Endure plus Slack with Torrent, or Endure plus Laichi with Torrent. You can use Aquajet Torrent sets. You can use Liquidation. Liquidation is extremely powerful, 85 base power. Well, that's not changed, actually. I had it as ADF, and then I ended up, God, I just misspoke really badly. I had it as 80 to be more balanced, but I ended up changing it back to 85 just because why not? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They get a lot of great coverage. Like I said, they can run bulky sets on Gator, or you can run offensive Sheer Force sets. It's really nice to be able to switch between the two, depending on the situation. Super useful. This is very self-explanatory stuff, man. Like, nothing here is crazy. Crazy in terms of like, oh, that's weird. Crazy in terms of powerful. I mean, dude, 125 base attack Sheer Force is really strong, really strong. Gator's a powerhouse. I love Gator. You know, you got Liquidation, which is okay. Here's what I'll do. I'll cover their Sheer Force moves. Okay, that's what I'll do. So, but for Stab Sheer Force, you have Dive, Liquidation, and Waterfall. Surging Strikes is not Sheer Force boosted, but Surging Strikes is great because, you know, it crits and it bypasses stat drops and all that stuff. It's very nice. And it's also earlier than Waterfall. Waterfall is 120. Waterfall is essentially Water type close combat now. But it still has, it now has a 30% chance to flinch as well. So it is still Sheer Force boosted. So that works amazingly with Life Orb. I mean, Life Orb, basically close combat Waterfall, like that is so strong. You also have, so here's your other Sheer Force boosted options. So you have those for Stab. Like I said, Liquidation, Waterfall, Dive, and then Aqua Tail as well. Aqua Tail has a 30% flinch rate as well. And that is 100 base power, 95% accuracy. You know, so I personally would prefer Liquidation for consistency, but if you need that extra power, you got Aqua Tail, you know, it's great. It's just about 5% accuracy. It's kind of annoying. I would say it's more for trainers to abuse or for people who aren't doing Nuzlocks. If you're doing a Nuzlocke, I'd probably run a Liquidation personally. You don't really need the extra power on Gator. But again, you know, always run calcs and shit. Oh crap, I need Aqua Tail this battle. You know, I missed out on the KO, or it's a roll, but Aqua Tail isn't a roll. Then yeah, you might want to say, for example, Liquidation, you're trying to sweep a trainer, and Liquidation is and they'll actually kill you in one hit, and you're running a Nuzlocke, or you're doing a Nuzlocke, and they'll kill you in one hit if you're using Liquidation. If you don't get the kill with Liquidation, and it's a 50% roll, a 50-50 roll, then yeah, you're gonna run Aqua Tail, because Aqua Tail won't be a roll, and it's only a 5% chance to miss. So 50% chance is a lot worse than 5%. So obviously, situational there, and those are both reteachable. So it's nice to be able to swap between the extra power or the accuracy. And then obviously, so Waterfall is just extremely consistent. The only downside being you aren't that fast, so lowering your defenses can kind of bite you in the ass if you're not running Dragon Dance or Scarf. But Scarf, Sheer Force, or Waterfall is power, man. Choice band sets are great. Aquajet, even though it's not Sheer Force boosted, it's still nice to have. Then other Sheer Force boosted moves, like I said. So here you go. You have Iron Head and Iron Tail, which are 80 base power, 110 base power respectively. You have Ice Punch and Ice Fang, which are 80 and 75 base power respectively. You have Psychic Fang. Actually, Psychic Fang is not Sheer Force boosted, I believe. It is like Brick Break, where it breaks screens. Yeah. So Psychic Fangs is not. So that's the one downside of losing Strong Jaws. You don't get the boost on Psychic Fangs, but like you have Zen Headbutt, so who cares? Zen Headbutt is 100 base power, 95% accuracy, and with Sheer Force, obviously, that's very powerful. And obviously, Life Orb is very powerful too. So another thing about Sheer Force that people sometimes forget is that with Stab, it's almost as strong as Adaptability because 1.5 times 1.3 is 1.6, 1.95. Meanwhile, Adaptability is just a flat 2 times boost. It doesn't stack. So Sheer Force Waterfall is almost as powerful, is 5% weaker than Adaptability Waterfall would be. And of course, you get a 30% boost to your non-stat move. So that's amazing. Obviously, it kind of sucks to lose the additional effects of certain moves. For example, if you want to run a power-up punch set or a false strike set, which false strike is dragon type, 45 base power, +1 attack, +1 accuracy. The accuracy boost is very handy for stuff like Aqua Tail and Stone Edge and Megaton Kick and all these inaccurate moves, or slightly inaccurate. No, I wouldn't say inaccurate, slightly inaccurate moves. It's nice to have that as an option. That's not anything like insane. What was I saying? False Strike is nice with that. So you can run Intimidate with the boosting moves. Power Trip is huge. I've covered it in literally fucking every change guide. If you don't know by now and you're new here, you can feel free to come on the sheets and check out all these moves. There's a bunch of little ones that are also, all these moves are changed. Like the vast majority of moves are changed. So if you're looking at this, feel free to come just check it out yourself. But Power Trip gives you +1 attack. You still use it now, but it's only 3 PP, so that's a balancing choice. However, it's much more powerful and it's a great move overall. That works great with Dragon Dance. That works great with Swords Dance, and it works great on Intimidate sets because Sheer Force actually loses the attack boost effect of Power Trip, which is a big shame. Crunch is much better, and Health Thrust is much better on Sheer Force sets. You want to run Power Trip on Intimidate sets if you want a dark move and you want to set up and stuff. Obviously, you also have stuff like Knockoff and all that other good stuff, but yeah. Agility sets are great, like I said. Late Dragon Dance is pretty late on. You get it in Totem Coma O. That's the last TM. Dragon Dance is the last TM you get access to. It's in Coma O's lair. So, before then you'll just be running agility or speed support with your teammates or priority moves with Aqua Jet and Sucker Punch and First Impression, which are all nice to have. Other Sheer Force boosted moves. So, Water type stab, you have Megaton Kick is Sheer Force boosted. Seismic Fist is Sheer Force boosted. Rock Climb, Play Rough. Play Rough is a weird one, but I was debating on it, but I asked a friend and they were like, yeah, put it on there. So I did. So if you have any issues, don't blame me. I thought it was weird too, but it fits fine. I think it fits like Totodile and Crocodile pretty good. So yeah. Sorry, I have to check this. Not check this, but I have to refresh the page. I don't know, man. Gator's just really solid. There's nothing else it's a pure water type. It's got solid bulk. It's got Intimidate. It's got Sheer Force. It's got a lot of Sheer Force moves. It's got tons of great coverage, tons of great setup. It's just a strong Pokemon. It's simple, straightforward. I don't want to go on longer than I have to. Other cool stuff you have access to, Roar. Z-Roar gives you +2 attack, and Roar is now 1 PP, and it's +4 priority, so you can instantly switch the opponent out, force them out into another Pokemon. Obviously you don't get to pick, which is the downside. It's random, so you can technically put yourself in a worse position than you were at first, but again, you get a free +2 attack for free. It's like Swords Dance is free, but you have to take a hit, potentially, whatever it is. With Roar, you just get a free +2 attack. It's great. Totally worth the moveset, in my opinion, to get that free +2 attack boost. And you can also disrupt the opponent's strategies, the AI's strategies with that as well. Special sets are not great, but you could technically run a mix set if you wanted, like Weather Ball or something, I guess. Like if you were like in the sun for some reason, I don't know why. If you're doing like a Team Lock Nuzlocke or something, and you happen to have a sun team and on, you have a Gator on there, I don't know. It's niche, but it's there just because. Same with Natural Gift, although Natural Gift is actually useful because it's 110 base power, special move of any type. So despite having a much lower special attack stat, you can still technically take advantage of that for specific sweeping sets and stuff. That's about it. I don't know. You got so I'll just list every Sheer Force boosted move and then I'll end it off there. So I'm just gonna list off everyone. So Jagged Fangs, Breaking Swipe, Crunch, False. Actually, I'll list the relevant ones because you're not using False Strike on Sheer Force sets, all right? You're not using Breaking Swipe on Sheer Force sets either, because you're using Breaking Swipe for utility on Intimidate sets because Breaking Swipe is -1 attack, 70 base power now. So that's great. But all right, I'm gonna list all of the relevant Sheer Force boosted moves. So those are Dive, Crunch, Jagged Fangs. Waterfall is insane. I already covered that. Liquidation, Aqua Tail, Iron Tail, Zen Headbutt, Lunge, Rock Slide, Seismic Fist, Megaton Kick, Takedown, Rock Climb, Play Rough, Poison Jab, Gunk Shot, Poison Fang, Ice Punch. A couple more that I'm forgetting. You guys get the idea. Great Pokemon. that ends off for the Joe starters. Thanks for listening. And if you enjoyed this and this kind of thing interests you and you're new here, feel free to check out my Discord server. Feel free to, you know, subscribe, all that cool stuff. I am currently, this hack is in progress. I get a lot of comments asking. I don't mind it at all, by the way. This isn't me like complaining. Just wanted to address it for anybody who wonders in their head while watching these. Oh, well, is this in development? Can I play this? Where can I download it? It's currently in development. All of the videos I make are live updates. These are like, I do them as soon, like pretty much as soon as I finish them on, if I have the time. If not, then I just do it whenever I can. So this is a, personal passion project. It's all just me working on it. Huge scope. More, I mean, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I feel like I do have to be better at. I need to be better with recognizing my own like talents, not talents, but I don't know, like my own effort. Because I feel weird saying, "Oh, I have so much more effort than those other hacks," but like I do, and I don't have to apologize for that. We can do a little bit of a little bit of bragging here and then. So yeah, super in depth, and some people don't like that. That's the thing. This isn't like necessarily bragging. Some people don't want to play that shit. Some people just want to go fucking play Renegade Platinum and just enjoy their minor changes. And that's like that's not a negative. That's not a jab, or I guess you could jab. Is that the right term? Yeah, that's not a jab at, or what's the word am I thinking of? I don't know. That's not an attack or anything. People just like that. A lot of people just want to play quality of life, slightly harder trainer battles, and slightly better Pokemon with slight improvements and slight move pool buffs and slight stat buffs. Some people like that. That's totally understandable. A lot of people like that, and but other people want more from their hacks. And if you want that kind of thing, then you found the right place. So thanks for listening, everybody. See you guys later.